Well, hey, everybody. How are you guys and gals tonight? Hello. I see the chat is just like going crazy with you guys saying hello and where you're from and the majors, which is so exciting. Folks, we are just absolutely thrilled to have you guys here. First and foremost, can everybody hear me okay? I wanted to do a quick sound check before we get started, just because I know people are still coming in. Okay, awesome. And I am going to also we have a very special guest with us tonight. Our amazing Associate Dean, Dr. James Winfield, is with us. So I'm going to turn his mic on. So bear with me for a sec, guys, and let him do a sound check. So give us 1 second to get this situated before we get started.
All right. Well, Melanie and everyone that's in attendance, can you all hear me?
Perfect. Okay, folks, thank you so much for bearing with us as we kind of make sure you guys can hear all the things. Well, everybody, let Dr. J and I be the first to welcome you to the SNHU family. We are so excited for you guys and to share just some top tips for your success as you guys kick off your term here at Southern New Hampshire University. So first and foremost, folks, your experience here at Southern New Hampshire University is important to us. It's our policy and practice to create an inclusive and accessible learning environment. If there are aspects of instruction or course design that present barriers to accessibility, please notify the Online Accessibility Center, the OAC, as soon as possible at 866-305-9430. You can also reach them at email at oac@snhu.edu or visit the Online Accessibility Center website. Folks, what does this mean? This means that the university wants to make sure that you can get content like these webinars, content that's in your classroom in a way that works best for you, okay? If you have questions about this, you want to know more about it, please reach out to our wonderful online accessibility team. And you can always check in with your advisor too if you just want to know a little bit more, but they have wonderful services for students to get what they need in a way that works best for them. So, housekeeping items for tonight. First and foremost, your guys' cameras and microphones are not turned on. So don't worry about it if you have pets in the background, or maybe you're at work, or maybe you're riding public transportation, or you have kiddos, or whatever might be going on. Don't worry, we can't hear it, okay? You just need to be able to hear myself and Dr. J, which sounds like everybody could. Fun fact about these webinars is that they are offered both in this live format, which we have live tonight, and then we're live again in week 6. It's a Wednesday night, just like tonight, 7:30 p.m. East Coast time. So if you want to mark that in your calendar for week 6, there will be lots of reminders that go out to y'all, so don't stress. But those are the 2 times that we're live. The rest of the term, every single week, every Monday, you can log into the First Year Experience YouTube page, and you will see the video for that week. And what these webinars do is they walk you through assignments, give you tips for your success, and then just give you a little bit of extra support from week to week. Okay, everybody, that's what the webinars are. We are in an academic space, so always be mindful of your conduct. And just know that these webinars, your attendance here tonight is not graded. There's no extra credit points, but it is our hope that you have fun, that you learn some things, and that you just really get excited about what is coming up when you guys start classes next week, right? So before I introduce myself, I want to know, how are you guys feeling? So give me a word or two and tell me, like, how are you feeling about starting this new journey? Or maybe you've tried school before and it didn't work and you're going to give it another try again. How are you feeling about things? I like to do this because I think sometimes we can feel like we're the only ones that feel a certain way, whether we're excited, we're nervous, we're scared, we're overwhelmed. Like, all the emotions, right? So I wanted you guys to see that you're not alone. And you're never alone here at the university, okay? You have classmates, you have SNHU resources that you're going to learn all about the departments and people here at the university that support your success. But I really wanted you to see that no matter how you're feeling, no, you're not alone in that, because somebody else is going to feel that way too, okay? So just know you're going to be great. Take a deep breath. I know for many of you, you've waited a long time for this moment. Maybe you've put other people through school and now it's your turn. Maybe it didn't work out before, the timing just wasn't right. Well, guess what? It's a fresh slate, fresh start, and we're so excited that you guys are going to be here. So this is me. I am Melanie Shop. I do teach a section of SNHU 107. So some of you, I will actually be your faculty member, but I do not have all of you. Do you guys know where to find your faculty information? You can go into your Brightspace classroom. That's where everything's graded at, and click on announcements, and there'll be a My Instructor announcement. You'll see usually a picture of them or something that they enjoy, their contact information, and a little bit about them, okay? So this is me. I will have a handful of you, but I will not have all of you. I get to teach a section of SNHU 107. Plus, I get to have all of the students in the learning community, which I absolutely love. It's really neat to work so closely with you guys and all of your faculty. I work with your faculty too. So this is my family. This is a little bit about me. I love the water. I live just outside Pensacola, Florida. I'm super active. I love like cycling and reading. You guys, the library and I are best friends. I like to go to the library, pick up the books. Anybody else like to do that? That is my like jam right there. And I love to spend time with my friends and family. But the biggest thing I want you guys to take away is that I am a resource for you. The learning community is a resource for you and your success. So I want you guys to know that. Christy, I love that. I like the smell of books too. You're not alone. You're not alone. So that's me, but a lot of students want to know, what is this learning community? Like, why should I want to be here? Why should I want to engage in it? Well, the learning community is actually outside of your classroom. So it's in what's called SNHU Connect. Some of you might have created a Pulse login. I know there's a lot of acronyms, folks. You're going to get used to it. I promise. Just take a deep breath and ask questions if you don't know what something means, okay? Those logins are created usually about a week or so after you get your schedules and get all set. So if you don't have it yet, don't panic. You can always get with our SNHU help desk. They can get you all situated. But it's literally a community outside of the classroom where there's student clubs and organizations and different departments that you can just get to know other students. We do have a very specific community just for students taking SNHU 107, taking it now, or have already taken it. It's really kind of a cool little space. It gives you a chance to hear from other students. Students are in there right now, introducing themselves, kind of sharing like their story, where they're from, what their major is. It's really a neat space. I encourage you to get in there. But also I will post reminders and links to the live recorded webinars and the on-demand, which are the ones that we pre-record that are available during the week, okay? Plus we have these videos called focus videos. The focus videos are quick, like less than 5 minutes, that walk you through either an assignment or they give you some top tips on the topic from week to week. And all of this is just basically an extra support for you and your success. So if you go into your My SNHU, your My SNHU, when you guys log in, you know how you can get into your classroom space. If you look for the learning communities or SNHU Connect, you'll see it on your screen. Just click there and follow the steps, okay? Has anybody been in SNHU Connect yet? I know there's a lot of students who have like started posting, so I know you guys are seeing it, but there are so many pages. I mean, there's clubs like the Nerd Unite Club, the Psychology Club, there's Criminal Justice, there's Creative Writing, there's parent organizations, there is military organizations, military spouse, military like organizations. There's just so much in there, plus all the different majors. So it's just a really cool space. We are so lucky tonight that we have one of our associate deans with us tonight. I want to introduce you guys to Dr. James Winfield. He is our associate dean of FYE, which that stands for First Year Experience, and Retention Strategies. So you guys got to hear a little bit about me. I like to share fun facts about any of the guests that come to my webinars. He is a Marvel cinematic universe fan. Where's the Marvel fans? I always love when he shares that because you guys are really specific about what you guys enjoy. I just love it. Loves to cook, family man, and he is, you guys, I'm telling you, one of the most wonderful resources here at the university. He has such great knowledge and just a lot of really cool things to share. So I'm going to turn it over to him and let him tell you guys a little bit about him and things he wants to make sure you know to get started right.
All right. Well, thank you for that great introduction, Melanie. As mentioned, I'm Dr. James Winfield. A lot of my students just call me Dr. J. But one of the things that I do want to share is that I'm a resource for you. I'm a resource for you, just like she is, along with some of the other individuals at SNHU. And we want you all to engage and connect with us as much as possible, because you can't do this alone. Too often we hear this idea that, oh yeah, I have to do it all by myself, and that's not true. We accepted you into SNHU for a reason, and we know that you're going to be able to graduate from this institution. So in a nutshell, as Melanie mentioned, like, my job is to help you navigate this large space with some of the resources that we have, and to just make sure that you have the best experience possible. We have peer mentors, we have all these other resources that can definitely support you during your time here, because I know sometimes in being in a space where it's just you and the screen, you might feel alone. So as Melanie mentioned, you're not alone in this. There's a whole group of individuals that you can share and connect with. So a couple of things I want to make sure that you're aware of is if you don't remember anything during your time as you're onboarded at SNHU, I want you to remember these 3 words: persist. So persist is basically where we want you to go from term to term, and we also want you to persist to walk across that stage and graduate. Then we want you to engage. We want you to engage with all the resources that are here. So we keep talking about the word resources. Take full advantage of them. They're here to support you, whether it is a student organization, whether it is your academic advisor who is there to help you, whether it is, being active in your course and engaging in the discussions. That's a really good thing for you to do, because you never know if you're going to need a letter of recommendation and from a faculty member for a graduate program or a job or whatnot. That's going to be really important for you. And then network. So networking is an offshoot of the engage piece. So the more you engage, the more you connect with people. And networking is so important. So for many of you who are in the professional realm already, you know how beneficial that is, connecting with other individuals so that you can share ideas and make the most of your experience as much as possible. So the network is a huge part of that, and we want you to do that as you go into your careers or advance in your current careers. So PEN, persist, engage, network. Also, that spells PEN, and that is intentional, because Penman, that's the mascot of SNHU. So just wanted to share that quick little bit of information and just give you some words of encouragement and to let you know that you've got this. It's going to be great, and you have so many individuals here to support you. As I mentioned, we do have a peer mentorship program. I'm going to drop that link in the chat, and I'm going to hand it back over to Melanie.
Hey friends, I'm back. Adobe likes to kick me out sometimes. So if that happens again, don't worry, I will be back. Thank you so much, Dr. J, for all of those words. And folks, Dr. J really means it when he talks about, just really making sure that you guys know that you are never alone. And if you remember anything from tonight, I want you to say out loud, I got this, okay? Because for many of you, this might be your very first college experience. This could be something maybe you feel like you're just like, this is so new. Like, how do I do all this? Like, how am I going to work all these things? Like, take a big, deep breath, okay? Everybody breathe in, breathe out. Because I'm telling you, take it day by day. Remember that you are worth this journey. You can do this, but it is going to take going outside your comfort zone a little bit sometimes, asking questions, using some of the support resources, and just really being an advocate for your success. So what I like to do is make sure that you guys know what to kind of expect from SNHU 107, okay? This is a quick little snapshot of your SNHU 107 class. So you'll see that you guys have 5 discussions through the whole term. You have 5 activity assignments. You have 2 warm-ups, and then you have a project, okay? That's all it is. That's all it is in a nutshell. When you guys have the discussion assignments, you're basically going to be answering some questions or sharing your thoughts and feedback. You're going to be posting those for your class to read and review, and then you're going to be responding to classmates. That's what the discussions are. Couple of important dates to put in your calendar or in your brains is initial discussion posts are always due by Thursday when they're assigned, okay? So every Thursday, if you have a discussion assignment that week, it's always due by Thursday, okay? Thursday, by 11:59 p.m. on Thursdays. That's where you share your thoughts. And then you want to respond to at least 2 of your classmates by Sunday of that same week. Does that make sense, everybody? So Thursday, Sunday. If you want to do those earlier, you totally can. You can start right away on Monday, whatever works for you in your schedule. The activity assignments, the warm-up assignments, those are always due by Sunday of the week that you guys have those things assigned in your coursework, okay? One of the things I want to make sure you guys know is I'm sure many of you have been in your classrooms clicking around and exploring, right? Some of you might have already started, like maybe done the quiz, the warm-up. The warm-ups are kind of like quizzes, but they're called a warm-up. That's okay, but you want to really wait till start day. Your faculty are not going to be grading anything, looking at anything until start day of Monday. You're not going to have to redo anything if you got excited and got in there, but just know if you can, wait until Monday. That's when you'll see the majority of your classmates get in there, okay? So those warm-ups, again, those are actually like little quizzes. Don't let the word quiz scare you because you can take them multiple times. And they actually auto-grade as soon as you take them so you can see your grades, okay? And then you're going to have a project at the week 7 of the term. So towards the end of your term for SNHU 107, you'll have a project that really is just connecting the dots and wrapping up everything you've learned and tying it into a pretty little package of you and your goals and your mission statement and the support you're going to use for your success, okay? So I wanted to just kind of go through that. As a reminder, when you have discussions, Thursdays by 11:59 p.m. is when your initial response is due. And then Sundays is when you have to respond to classmates, okay? And then warm-ups and activity assignments are always due by Sunday. Can you work ahead? Of course you can, but I caution you to get too far ahead because you don't want to get overwhelmed or miss an instruction from the announcement that could have been helpful as you work through things, okay? Now remember, when you guys get started, week 1, that's your week 1 assignments. Week 2 is your week 2 assignments. Week 3 is week 3, week 4, and so on, okay, everybody? Sometimes that can be kind of confusing if you've never taken an online class. So just remember, focus 1 week at a time, and if you get stuck, have questions, please make sure to let your instructor know, okay, everybody? Does that make sense so far? One of the big things I like to share with you guys is to make sure you're making the time for school. Has anybody taken a little bit and sat down and thought about when you're going to study? Throughout the day, throughout the week? That's really important. I know that you are not physically in a classroom because you're taking your classes online, but I like to tell students that I think that sometimes is harder because you have to be the one that motivates yourself to physically sit down and go through your assignments and work on things. So if you have not done this already, I encourage you to do it. Find a time that works best for you. Start with your first couple of days. Don't overwhelm yourself, 1 day at a time, okay? That's the biggest advice I can give you. Just take it day by day, but make a plan for your success. And I love seeing that so many of you guys have already thought about this. Tip number 2, you guys are already doing, make connections. You're getting to know your classmates. I encourage you to get to know your faculty. Folks, do not, I repeat, do not be nervous, hesitant, afraid, scared, whatever the word might be, to reach out to your instructors, okay? It's really important. Your instructors are your faculty. They're the ones that are going to be leading your classroom and teaching you and grading your work. They want you to be successful. It is so important that you check your classroom announcements and check your SNHU email. I cannot stress that enough because your faculty will send out and post very important tips, tricks, ideas, helpful things for your success. And if you're not reading your university email or not reading those announcements posted in your classroom, you're going to miss those things, okay? But know that your faculty want you to do well. So please reach out. I know it can be a little nerve-wracking the first time you might send that email or give them a call, but I promise you, they want to get to know you, okay? And of course, get to know the SNHU departments. You're going to learn a lot in SNHU 107 about SNHU resources. That's the people, the places, the things, like your advisors, the SNHU help desk, the library, the academic support team, which has the writing services and some coaching services. Like Dr. Winfield mentioned, our peer mentors, those are the SNHU resources, okay, folks? You're going to learn a lot about them, make the connections, and make the best of your experience. I know for so many of you, you have other people in your life you're taking care of, your schedule is really full, but I'm telling you that you want to really learn how to advocate for yourself and get to know the people here at SNHU, okay? Tip number 3 is to get that electronic textbook. Yes, you guys have an electronic textbook. Get it purchased, get it connected. Folks, you should have gotten an email that looks kind of like this. It tells you how to order your books. If you didn't, don't stress. Go into your classroom, click underneath Learning Modules, start here, and it gives you the save information. You go to the SNHU bookstore, you add it to your cart, just like you were checking out on Amazon, and then you're going to get an email for how to get everything connected. If you're stuck or have no idea or not sure if you did it right, always get with your advisor or the SNHU help desk, okay? Don't stress about it. Don't wait. Just reach out to them and they will get you all set up, okay, folks? Tip number 4 is a backup plan. Okay. It's so important that you guys have a backup plan in place. And when I say backup plan, if, for example, if maybe you have somebody at home that's going to help you with some of the household chores while you're doing school, make sure that you're on the same page. If you have somebody, that if you're maybe with internet, like let's say internet goes out, that happens all the time. We just had the hurricane here in Florida a few weeks ago, the internet was gone. We've had snowstorms take internet out, cell phones have been dropped, broken. I myself had 2 brand new laptops, 2 in one 8-week term break, like black screen, broken for life, had to get a different one and had to be mailed back in. Like it just happens. So have a backup plan. Know where you can go if you lose internet. Is there a local library or like a coffee shop or even McDonald's? They all have Wi-Fi now, right? Or is there a friend or family member? You can go to their house. If your computer, something happens, or however you're doing classroom stuff on your tablet or your phone, if it breaks, I had a student once that her 2-year-old dropped her tablet on the floor and broke it. And so she was like, that was how she did school, right? So she let me know that and I worked with her, okay? But have those backup plans in place because life happens, things are gonna happen. You're not gonna be the first person to get sick or, break an arm or break a finger. I mean, life happens, okay, folks? So just know, have that backup plan. And don't be afraid, again, to reach out if something happens. Like this week, I had a student that was like, oh my gosh, the flu has hit our house, Professor Shop. I'm working on my assignments, but I just wanted you to know, like, in case it's to the wire or I'm missing it, like, this is why. Okay, thank you for letting me know. Now I can make a plan for you and your success. When we know, we can help you, okay? We already talked about this a little bit with making your time for SNHU. But you want to make sure you have a to-do list. Know what is on your plate inside and outside the classroom. What's on your plate at school, what's on your plate at home, what's on your plate at work. Just, from day to day. So it helps you just feel a little bit more organized. And yes, I saw in the chat, this webinar is recorded. Folks, I'm going to put my little housekeeping post in the thing again too. There's 2 links that are in there. One says LC webinar at the end and one it says LC focus. Those are where you can find the webinars every single week. And then the focus videos are already loaded for the term if you want to give them a head start. Okay. So just know to create that to-do list, know what you're responsible for. That way it just helps you feel more in control of your time. I did see a question in the chat about classes start on Monday. So is there a certain time that you have to log in? No, there is not. What you guys always want to make sure of is that your assignments are just turned in by the due date. So for week 1, you guys have a warm up and you guys have a discussion assignment. So remember what I said at the beginning of the webinar, discussion assignment, initial post is due Thursday, 11:59 p.m. You can, of course, work on it earlier when classes start, and then peer responses, classroom responses by Sunday, and the warm up by Sunday. Okay, so that's kind of what's on deck for week one. And I have a whole webinar that goes through everything week one. Okay. Tip number 6 is communication is key. I think you guys are starting to maybe realize how we really want you to understand to reach out and connect for your success, whether something's happening in your life, or you just have a question, or you maybe are, want to plan your classes next term, whatever it might be. Communication is key. You can call, a lot of faculty text message, some of them even FaceTime, Google Hangout. You can always email. You have access to all that information for your instructors in your classroom space underneath the announcement section under My Instructor. If you're trying to get a hold of your advisor, remember, folks, advisors do have days off. So if you're trying to get a hold of them and they happen to be off, you will get an automated response that there's a general advising email and a general advising phone number, that there are advisors on staff that can answer general questions, okay? So just know that, there's always somebody there, but we are human and we are people and we do have lives also. So I don't want you to get frustrated if you send an email and don't hear back in an hour. Okay, everybody? Just take a deep breath and know that you have people that are here to support you in your success. Tip number 7 is to always watch the webinars. I popped those links in the chat. I'll do it again. And you guys are going to get emails. Did you guys get emails to remind you about this webinar? Those happen all the time. Every week they go out. There's reminders. I'll post in SNHU Connect. Faculty will share things. Make sure you're checking your SNHU email. Faculty will share things in your classroom announcements. But if you wanted to bookmark or save these links, that's what they are. Okay, so you can always go back and you can find them. So for example, the week 1 webinar, you guys start classes on Monday, is loaded midnight Monday. So you can see what to expect for week 1 and how to do the assignments and what you have kind of going on. Okay. And again, those webinars are just there for your support, your success as I walk you through those assignments. If you ever have questions on the webinars, don't hesitate to send me an email or even post in the learning community, and I'll always get back to you, usually within 24 hours. Okay. If not sooner. Tip number 8 is to know your success team. Okay. So off the top of your head, who do you think is going to be your biggest support system person as you start this journey? Just name it. Is it going to be you, yourself? Is it going to be your husband, your wife, your partner, your children, your dog, your cat? Who is it? I always love to know, because I think it's so important for you guys to remember to surround yourself with those people that are going to support you in your success. Because this journey, you have to be a little selfish. I'm going to say it. You have to be able to pull back and study and take the time to do your assignments and get things turned in. And that takes time away from our loved ones. And it takes time away from the things we want to do. I don't want to write this discussion post. I'd rather go to the movies, right? It's going to happen. But remember, you are worth this degree. So put the time in, because it pays off later. Okay. Tip number 9 is to always use your feedback. Folks, I like to share this because every week your faculty will grade your items. Some things when you start in week 1, so it starts on Monday, right? And you're going to have discussion posts turn in by Thursday, class name responses and warm up by Sunday. After you turn things in on that Sunday, so what is that? The 30th, that'll be the 30th, right? Because Halloween's on Monday. That's how I remember that this week. Faculty have a week. So 7 days to grade. Some faculty grade as things come in. Some grade Sunday night, Monday morning. Some grade kind of throughout the week. So just be checking in your Brightspace classroom underneath My Grades for your feedback, because your faculty are going to spend time putting in what you did well, where you need to improve, and how you can do it. Okay. So I just want to make sure you guys know to check that, because sometimes students are like, wait a minute, I didn't know I was doing that wrong. Well, did you check your feedback in the Grade Center? No, I didn't. Always remember to check that, because your faculty will tell you hey, this is awesome, or hey, you know what? Let's work on this, and here's an idea of how you can fix it. All right, everybody? Tip number 10 is to use your resources. We've said it a lot tonight. Please, please, please connect with the people, the places, and the things here at SNHU. I love this quote by Lincoln Pads. It's all about utilizing, okay? Using all of your resources wisely is key for growth, which opens up success. Unfortunately, most don't realize this, and the door of opportunity stays closed. Folks, you are here for a reason. This is your time, and we are so excited for you. So take advantage and utilize every opportunity and every resource that is in front of you, even if it makes you uncomfortable, okay? Because when we're uncomfortable, we're going to grow, right? You are worth this experience and this journey. So always take the opportunity to give yourself the extra support as you guys need, okay? So this is the main content for tonight, but I did want to share my screen and walk you through just a couple quick places in Brightspace in your classroom. Does that sound good? If you already feel comfortable with Brightspace, want to hop off, totally fine, completely understand, because I know your time is precious. But I just want to walk you through a couple quick things. Keep in mind, folks, that there is an entire week 1 webinar that's going to be ready for you guys Monday morning. That way you guys can really see everything that you guys might need and know everything that is expected. Oh, sorry, guys, expected for week 1. So I'm not going to go too in depth. Okay, everybody. So hold on just a second. Too many things open. Okay, so let me get to my screen, guys. And you may see a little grayed out or black box on the screen. And folks, that is just my controls so that I can see what's happening and where the chat is. So can everybody see my screen okay? Looks okay. Oh, thank you. Oh, I know. We just got those pictures done. Do you know I haven't done pictures in like 7 years? And they needed to be updated. So folks, again, you'll see a blacked out or grayed out screen. That is literally just the chat in the spaces so I can see everything. So this is a Brightspace classroom. This is actually my classroom. It's going to look a little bit differently because I'm a faculty member, but most things will be the same. What I wanted to remind you guys of is you'll always, when you log in, you'll see most recent announcements. Pay attention to this. It's going to give you like the first 200 characters of it or something. Always click read more. Okay, click read more because it's really going to give you the tips and tricks and information that you need for your success. All right. But up here at the top, it's really important. I wanted to point out course menu gets you everywhere you want to go. You can click to find your announcements. You can go directly to learning modules. You can get to the discussions. You can find assignment activities, and here's grades. All right. Up here at Online Student Services, I want to click on it really quickly because I want to show you guys just a couple of things. First, this is where you'll find access to all of the university resources. Right here, one click. You'll see the help desk, the bookstore to order your book. You'll see academic advising. You'll see academic support. So academic support has workshops, academic coaches. There's a live chat feature. A lot of students utilize them for writing services. So if you're nervous about writing academically or kind of like having somebody review some of your writing, this can be discussions, this can be projects, anything university related. They have a wonderful team for that. You can get to the library, student financial services. I wanted to point out this Office 365 and other software. As a student here at SNHU, you get Office 365 for free, okay? So you can actually click on this, click the blue, gets you to where you want to go. Remember that, always click the blue, gets you to where you want to go. When you do that, you'll be able to get Office 365 downloaded, which has like Microsoft Word, PowerPoint, Excel for free, FREE, which I love. You will need that or something compatible because your template assignments, those activity assignments, they have a template that's a Microsoft Word document. Okay, folks, so just make sure you know how to use that. Here's that Online Accessibility Center. Here is SNHU Connect, which I chatted about with clubs, organizations, the SNHU 107 learning community. That's where you find it. And then SNHU Career. Okay, so that's really cool that everything is just right here in that place. And I will post those links again, folks. I just switched chats. The old one is still there. I just had to flip them to get in here. So that was what I wanted to make sure I showed you guys. But where you find everything for Module 1, just really quick, course menu, click on Learning Modules. And when you guys do that, I encourage you to click on Start Here. Again, Click the blue, gets you to where you want to go. You're going to see your syllabus, which is like a roadmap for your class, has information about your class, your book, how you're graded, all that kind of stuff, right? And then remember how I said you could find the bookstore and the book. Again, it's all right here, step by step, walks you through how to purchase your book, where to find it, what book that you need, okay? Now, as a reminder, when you guys get started on Monday, that's week 1, module 1. So you're responsible for the module 1 assignments. When you get to the next week, module 2, you're responsible for the module 2 assignments. Does that make sense, folks? So you're not logging in here and completing module 1 through 8 all at once. You're going week by week by week, okay? Because it can be a little bit overwhelming if you've never done online classes, like how you get all of this stuff to work, right? So just know, for example, click on module 1. So this is for next week, okay, folks? So next week, there's going to be this module 1 introduction. Click on the blue, gets you to where you want to go. It's going to pull up everything you need to know for module 1. So you're going to click the blue and you're going to scroll, right? Use the little arrows to arrow over. Make sure you review all the content. You'll notice there's going to be little videos, helpful videos as you go through the material. Click on them. If you have any trouble with them working or running, let the help desk know, let your instructor know. Again, here's a reminder for the textbooks. There's a lot of stuff in here, right? So click the blue, gets you to where you want to go. And then always scroll down to the bottom. Always go all the way to the bottom because there's all kinds of helpful stuff down there, okay? Sometimes students, we just don't go all the way down. Always go all the way down, okay? So I wanted to show you guys that. But also what I wanted to show you when you first click on module 1, this is kind of like the basic page, like the title page is what I'm going to call it. But it kind of just gives you the overview of module 1. Up here, you want to click through everything. You're going to have a discussion. So like I said, you're going to have this discussion assignment. Week 1 is you're going to basically be introducing yourself and talking about ownership. All right. So you can start thinking about that before next week starts. And then you have that warm up. So to get to the warm up, you would just click right on it and it's going to pull it up for you. Again, mine looks a little bit different because I'm a faculty member. You will actually have like a begin quiz is what it'll say. The warm ups automatically grade. You can take them as many times as you need to. But I encourage you, read the assigned chapter, read and review through this introduction for module 1, and then take it, okay? Now, for the discussion assignment, I'm going to click just real fast. Again, click the blue, gets you to where you want to go. It'll bring up the discussion, the questions that you want to be answering or things to think about, okay, everybody? And what you're going to see, like I'll show you guys, I actually posted in our discussion for week 1 already, okay? You'll see, so if you log in and you see something that looks like this, that means that your faculty member posted or a student might have posted. Okay, so this is what it would look like. So if you want to read what your faculty member posted or a student posted, you just click on the title, again, click the blue, and you can see what they said. All right, everybody's a little bit different, but I wanted to make sure I pointed that out. How do you start a discussion? Click on start a new thread, type your subject line, week 1, hello, or whatever you want it to be. And then you have a little text box. You'll type all your stuff in, and then you just click post. Okay, everybody? So that is just a really quick run through. The module 1 webinar next week goes through this way more in depth, but I wanted to just kind of show you just a few spaces to click and also make sure you knew where to find all those online student services. Okay, everybody? So I'm going to stop sharing my screen. So hold tight for me just a second. Adobe likes to be a little sassy when I change screens. Okay, perfect. All right, so folks, that is all that I have tonight. Did this help? Do you feel a little bit better, like knowing where to click, where things are, some tips for your success? You know that you're not alone. Please know that the tutorial that I gave is just real quick for tonight, but next week's webinar is literally all about module 1. So it's going to go over where to click, what to do, how to post. The biggest thing is, folks, if you have any questions, remember to reach out to your faculty. They want you to be successful. Do not forget about checking your SNHU email. It's so important. And also reading those course announcements, okay? Folks, we are just absolutely positively thrilled for you in this journey. We are so excited to welcome you to the SNHU family. And just on behalf of everybody here at SNHU, you are going to be incredible and you completely got this. So thank you for tuning in tonight. This webinar was recorded or is still being recorded. I will have the recording on the First Year Experience YouTube page. I'm going to put those links really quick in the chat again. It'll be up within 24 hours. So you can go back and watch this. It's labeled PreTerm Webinar Top 10 Tips. You'll see it. You can go back and watch it as many times as possible. Remember, we are not live again until week 6, but you have a webinar every single week. They're just already pre-recorded. I actually just posted week 1's yesterday. I recorded it this week. I posted it yesterday. And you'll just be able to see it bright and early Monday morning. Okay, so know that we were live tonight. Next week, you're going to go to that little LC webinar link in YouTube. You're going to click on it. You're going to look for module 1, week 1. Click on it and you'll watch it. Same thing will happen every week until week 6. We're back live. It's on a Wednesday night at 7:30. You'll get lots of reminders. And if you ever can't find the webinar recordings or links or you're stuck, you can always ask your faculty, but you can always send me an email too. And I'll make sure that you get all situated. But just remember, folks, there's a lot. Like I just threw a lot of information at you. It's a lot of things, a lot of acronyms and names, but just know, take it day by day. You're going to be able to figure everything out. It's just because it's new and different, but you're going to be absolutely amazing. And we're so excited to have you guys just kick off your journey and your future here on Monday. So good night, everybody. It was a pleasure meeting you. Have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. And remember, you got this. I will see you guys next week in week